Ooh, what's up GameLeapers? The Jizz has returned from the deep and I cannot believe this player we're about to watch is Platinum. Like, I don't know if something happened to the matchmaking system overnight, but this video is going to give you all hope of reaching the big time on the Rift, and I'm going to point out all of the mistakes our friend makes and how we can all learn from them so we don't commit the same cardinal sins in our own games. We'll be talking about basic trading tips, positioning, a little bit about wave management, even a few settings, so make sure to stick around for the entire video so you don't miss anything. Now, speaking of not missing anything, Yankos, thank you for not locking in Nidalee over the weekend. But on a serious note, you guys cannot miss out on the exclusive content we produce on the GameLeap website. Mastering a champion, mastering a role, becoming the best you can possibly be. That's what the Jizz and a bunch of other challenger level players and coaches teach you. So get signed up, links in the description and comment section. All right, let's get into it, guys. And the first tip I want to give you is this one right here. Stand and base at the start. It's a really OP strategy. No, but seriously, guys, the first tip I want to give you here is this one. When you hit level 2, make sure you hit level 2 on the enemy side of the lane. So if I draw a line through the middle of the lane here horizontally, and we make this like a tennis court, to actually use this advantage, you have to try and be close to the enemy champion. If you're really far away and standing at your baseline compared to the enemy baseline, you're not going to be able to do anything. Now, this is different to level 1 against level 1, of course, because it's identical, right? There's no real advantage here. But when you do hit level 2, there is a significant advantage because you have better stats and you have an extra cooldown. So in terms of the 1v1, we want to be fighting in those situations. So Annie's positioning here is pretty decent, like she's in the middle, but we need to be further on the enemy side of the lane. So as you're about to last hit the first melee minion, guys, of the second wave in mid and top lane, you are going to move up onto the enemy side of the court, so that when you actually hit level 2, first of all, they'll be caught by surprise because no one pays attention to this. Even in some Master and Grandmaster games, people forget about it. So you will 100% catch them off guard, and it gives you a nice health advantage when you do damage them, of course, to then play the lane and keep winning the lane. So when level 2 comes around, embrace your inner Roger Federer. Now, this next tip I'm going to give you is going to save you that many deaths, because this is the biggest wave management mistake that I see so many lower elo players making. So when the lane, guys, is pushed up into the enemy tower or close towards it like it is here, it's on their side of the court. We do not want to play on their side of the court for too long. Why? Because we open ourselves up to ganks, of course, and it makes it actually easier for the enemy champion to chase us down because the lane is longer for us. So when this is the case, the wave becomes the big priority because we really want to play the lane in the middle or even towards our side. So what we have to do is hard push this wave by all means necessary. That means auto attacks, that means Qing, Wing, Eing, whatever champion you are on, you have to get the wave in. It is essential. So Annie here, yeah, okay, she W's most of the minions and she Qs them, but where are the auto attacks? We could be doing so much more to these minions and actually saving ourselves, but instead we take way too long, and what ends up happening, well, it's catastrophic because we end up dying. So whenever the minion wave, guys, is being played on the enemy side of the lane, hard push it. Now, one big mistake here as well. Yes, okay, the wave is in a bad position. We didn't hard shove it as much as we should have. But one big mistake, if I look at the scoreboard, is there anything Annie can do here to maybe save herself? Yes, health potion, right? Where is the health pot? Like, this is platinum elo. Can we pop it, please? So the fact that Annie was actually even below half HP before this trade happens is criminal, and the result? Death by Orianna. And you know what? From now on in this video, I'm going to refer to Annie as Mr. Health Potion. So try to never do this in your games, guys. If you're lower than 75% HP, use one of your health potions, refills, corrupting potions, whatever it is. You never want to be below half HP if you have some sustain in the bank. Now, the lane continues for a little bit, and our friend Mr. Health Potion actually does something really good here. You can see in the bottom right on the minimap how Mr. Health Potion is question marking the map, which means that an enemy is missing. So this is unreal. This communication doesn't exist, and then he decides to take it a step further and actually ping where Orianna probably has roamed. So if we think about the map for a second, we have wards in the top side of the map around the enemy raptors. There's no way Orianna is roaming top here because we would have seen her. So if she is going to roam anywhere, it would be bot lane. So these pings are great. So as soon as the enemy champion, guys, leaves your lane, or you can't see them anymore, we are question marking, and then we can try to figure out where they actually would be roaming, and then we are pinging danger, or of course you can signal back ping. Now, when you're in a deficit like this, guys, we know that Annie isn't ahead of Orianna in terms of levels and items here and even HP. So what we don't want to be doing is what Mr. Health Potion does right here. Auto attacking the wave. We want the Orianna, even if we do have to give our minions for it, to push the wave into us. We cannot go near her because we're going to get chunked, and the enemy jungler could be nearby as well. So what do? Well, we don't do anything. All we're going to do is sit in range if we can of the enemy minions. If Orianna pressures us, then we might have to go back under our tower, which is fine though, because the enemy wave is going to push into us. Now, in lower elos, players aren't going to play optimally, so this Orianna isn't actually going to pressure you to that extent, which means you can stay in range of the minions and sometimes even just last hit them as if the lane was being played on even terms. cooldowns. But just in case, guys, they are switched on, we are not hitting the wave at all. If we can last it with auto attacks, we are last hitting with auto attacks or maybe an ability, but we are not auto attacking to push the wave. We are trying to let it come into us here. Now, it's not all doom and gloom here, guys, because Mr. Health Potion is going to make one of the best plays I think he's made in his career here. This ultimate onto Orianna, it looks, oh my god, Orianna's full HP. Why would you waste your anti-ultimate here? Well, using your ultimate, guys, it's not always about killing the enemy champion. If you chunk them to a point where it's very hard for them to lane, because you're going to have a significant health advantage, this is another really good reason to ult. It doesn't always have to be for a kill. So take this into your games. If you ever have an opportunity just to ult onto your opponent, especially if you're a one-shot champion like Annie, Zed, Talon, if you don't kill them, you are most likely going to force them out of the lane, or if they do stay, they're going to be very, very low and easy for you to kill later on when your cooldowns come back up. So for Mr. Health Potion, this makes the lane really easy to play. But again, what he does here is actually kind of bad. For some reason, he decides to push the wave with this significant advantage. When you have an advantage like this, guys, whether it's HP, levels, it has to be significant, of course. Do not push the wave. Slowing it down makes it very, very hard for Orianna to actually contest the minions and get golden experience. But when we're pushing the wave like we are here, Orianna, after being, on 400 HP, is kind of let off the hook, and Mr. Health Potion is just waddling around for no real reason. So the initial ultimate to damage Orianna to make the lane a lot easier for him was great, but we made it easier by pushing the next wave into her so she doesn't actually have to move up as far in the lane, and then this is one of the worst mistakes you can ever make on the Rift, getting solo killed. And the reason Mr. Health Potion gets solo killed here, guys, isn't because he didn't use a health potion because he doesn't have one. It's because he didn't know his mana values. So if we watch this back, you can see that when Mr. Health Potion uses his E here, he's actually out of mana. So if you're playing them on the reg and you have like 50 to 100 games of experience on a champion, you have to know the mana values because sometimes, like we just saw, it's going to cost your life. So what Mr. Health Potion should really have done is actually auto attack and then Q Orianna instead of just Eing. And this is obviously really important because he dies as a result. Now, one tip I can give you in terms of settings is to turn on your mana values on your HUD. So that when you look at your cooldowns, there's going to be a number in the top right corner, and that number denotes how much mana you're going to spend using that ability. Now, it might not seem important, but trust me, this game is made up of so many little things, guys, and if we can nail these little things, or as many as we can, you're going to give yourself a better chance of winning games and not dying. So make sure you put those mana cost numbers on your HUD. It's going to help you so much and give you the guidance you need to not die like Mr. Health Potion here. Now, if you're playing a skill shot champion, guys, this next tip is going to help you out beyond belief. Like, trust me, watch this. So one of the keys to being in Platinum is to miss your tibbers, is to miss your ultimates. So if you're playing any champion with a skill shot ultimate, miss it. This is going to tilt Orianna beyond belief because she's like, oh my god, this guy just missed his ultimate. I'm in the same elo as him. So it's actually a really good like Jedi mind trick Mr. Healthpot is throwing out here. So if you want to win the mental battle in your games, guys, deliberately miss your ultimate because it's going to tilt the enemy so much. Now, Mr. Health Potion decides to make a roam here, guys, and before we decide if this is a good decision or not, I want you guys to check out the GameLeap website for me, okay? It's the last friendly reminder that Jizz is going to throw at you. 20 videos a week, that's 20 exclusive videos that are fresh, they're not recycled from anywhere, they are original, and they are guaranteed to help you out because they are made by challenger players and coaches around the world who have conquered the Rift and have all the experience in the world, so check it out, links down below. Now let's get into this roam by Mr. Health Potion. Now, is this a good roam? Of course this is a good roam because he's just pushed a minion wave out and he's not going to give up that much for roaming here. So as you can see, as he's walking past the dragon pit, in the mid lane the minion waves haven't actually collided yet, so he's not missing anything at the moment. He's not giving up that much golden experience. So in your games, guys, if there is a minion wave right in front of you, clear it before you roam. I said it yesterday in the Chovy video, clear it. Do not go to roam when there's golden experience in your lane to be had. So Mr. Health Potion actually makes a good play. He goes bot lane and he picks up a 900 gold shutdown. This good work is completely undone. This mistake is just so obvious, it looks like I'm watching Kadeem here. So he uses his E to get back to the mid lane quicker because it gives Annie movement speed. But if we look in the bottom left as well, Mr. Health Potion used his ultimate, even though he missed it, not so long ago, so this is on cooldown as well. So if he was to fight Orianna, he only has 2 cooldowns against Orianna's potential 4. So this by default means you're going to lose 100%. There's no way you win this. So what he really should have done is taken the easy route, the safer option, and run around the Raptor's brush. But instead, Mr. Health Potion decides to limit, test, and engage before his jungler even gets there, and ends up dying and completely throwing the little comeback he just made by killing the Xayah in the bot lane. And at this point of the game, guys, if we look at the scoreboard, Mr. Health Potion is 1-3 with just 70 CS, and Orianna, the opposite number, is 4-0 with over 90 CS now. And that's all because of the mistakes that we have been through. So apply the tips, guys, apply the fixes to your games as well, and there is a chance you get beyond Platinum, but if you don't, you are going to
stay hard suck, so make sure you apply these. Let us know down below if you enjoyed the video by leaving a like. Make sure to hit the sub button as well before leaving. This has been the Jizz, and until tomorrow's video. Bye!